Hi, I'm Nick Bartolotta, licensed physical therapist, co-creator of the Rolflex, and tonight we're going to be talking to you about wrist pain and how to use the Rolflex to address it. So there's a lot of different kinds of wrist pain. Most of it's caused by repetitive motion, wear and tear on the joint, kind of the beginning stages of osteoarthritis, which is just literally uh, the bone and cartilage kind of grinding against each other, creating inflammation that's chronic. Um, so, the best way to start working the wrist is actually to work the back of the forearm and then the inside of the forearm away from the wrist and then work your way down towards it. And the reason why is because if we loosen up the muscles above that cross over the wrist, but we take the tension out that's up higher, which is where most of it builds anyways, it's going to take pressure off the wrist. So you're going to start by opening up the Rolflex to probably the third or fourth position, depending on how big your arm is, and then putting it up at the top near the elbow, squeezing and rolling down the arm and trying to find those trigger points. And what a trigger point is it's either an actual area of the muscle that has what we call adhesions, kind of like glue between the fibers, or it's a point where your brain has told the muscle to keep firing when it shouldn't. So, in any case, it feels the same. You'll feel a tender spot, and then you stop on that spot and start manipulating it from the inside out. And again, when I have my arm compressed under this pressure and I try to move my wrist, it's also stretching my wrist at the same time because it's holding my bones in place as I twist it. And you just want to work around and not go into a point that's uncomfortable or too painful in the wrist. So you'll work the back of the arm first. Always go a little bit slow when you start doing the ART work or the active release. And then switch. So we'll turn it around, come to the top of the elbow again, but on the inside of the forearm this time. And again, work our way down, stopping at each trigger point and manipulating your hand either open or with a fist. And the more creative you get with the movements you make, touching fingers, the more you're going to be stretching and releasing tension that could be potentially causing pressure across the joint and creating that wrist pain. Finally, you're going to want to work the wrist directly, but only do this after you've done the forearm quite considerably. You don't want to jump right to the wrist where the pain is first off. So in order to do that, I'm going to put it in the second position. I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to do the back of my wrist first, and I'm going to start by going from in between my bones in my forearm, so the radius and the ulna, and there's a groove right there, and I'm going to work slowly up towards my wrist. And when I get close to where the pain is, I'm going to gently manipulate my hand, make a fist, open my fingers, and then do the same thing on the opposite side. This, you're tracking right along the carpal tunnel, which is that space just as the wrist turns into your hand. And same thing, gently moving it back and forth. Always be careful when you get to the points or areas that are aggravated. The point of the Rolflex is not to roll over a painful area and make it more uncomfortable. It's to create relief. And you're going to find that creating relief comes by working around and up to the point of pain, but not going into pain and causing irritation and more swelling. So that's how we deal with general wrist pain using the Rolflex. Stay consistent with it and try and do it a couple times throughout the day.